Hey guys, it's Sandy. So this is a very serious warning that I want to give you because I heard it and I know that it is not being shared on other sources of media. And that's why I want to share it because just last week, the heads of Commission on the National Defense Strategy, they met with our Senate Arms Committee. And the warning that they gave is very serious. And I know that people don't know this. They're not hearing this. And that's why I wanted to share it with you. And I also want to share something that happened that actually scared me last week. So the president and the vice president of this Commission on the National Defense Strategy met with the Senate Arms Committee, and what they said was Americans are unprepared. And her exact words is the public is essentially clueless. So that's why I'm sharing this, because I'm telling you, it is coming. They have told us that a cyber attack is coming. It's not so much if it ever comes, it's when it comes. And what they are saying in this video is it is coming, and it's coming quicker than any of us realize. And it will cripple America whenever it happens. And that's why you need to be aware of this. So let me share just a little excerpt of this video. And then I want to share what happened to me. And I want you to hear one more part of the video also. I'm going to link the description, or I'm going to link the video in the description also. It's just a very short video, but you need to hear it. So let me start with this little portion right here. Listen to this, you guys. It's very important. Hear what she's saying and the guy is saying.
The United States is unprepared for the most serious security threats it's faced since World War II. That's the warning defense experts delivered to a Senate committee this week. CBN's Dale Hurd reports.
The heads of the Commission on the National Defense Strategy told the Senate Armed Services Committee that the United States is nowhere near prepared for the dangerous multi-threat environment it's facing.
The public has no idea how grave the threats are.
Commission Chairman Representative Jane Harman and Vice Chair Ambassador Eric Edelman issued a dire warning to the committee Tuesday.
The homeland, if there's a conflict, is not going to be a sanctuary anymore, and the first attacks will likely be in the cyber domain, and they will be incredibly disabling.
The public is essentially clueless about the massive cyber attacks that could be launched any day by our adversaries, not just nation states, but rogue actors as well.
The report warns a cyber war with China or Russia would be devastating. America's critical infrastructure would come under attack, possibly cutting off power, water, transportation, and financial systems, and shutting down the supply chain. The report states major war would affect the life of every American in ways we can only begin to imagine.
Okay, so you heard what they said, that it is crippling. It will be crippling to us, and what it will do to the infrastructure. You know, with transportation is gone, and your phone is gone, and electric is gone, and the water system is gone, you know, how do you even live? Well, there are ways, because you can do some things now to have your house ready. Can you be prepared for everything? No, because we don't even know what's going on. Let me just tell you, with this presidential election that is coming up, I feel like we are imploding from within on America. We are so divided, and I just believe it is going to get pretty ugly by November, or even November until January. Who knows what is going to happen? Who knows who is even going to be our president? Is Biden even going to be the president still, or is Kamala going to be the president? Because I don't know how Biden can not be fit to run in a presidential election, but to be fit to run a country right now. That makes no sense to me. But let me get back to what I was talking about. So we have no idea what's going to happen with the presidential election, but this is beyond that, because this is talking about other nation states and what they will do to America. And when they'll do it to America, nobody knows. Before an election, after an election, when nobody's expecting it, we don't know. But what the point is, it will happen suddenly. And that is the big part of this that you need to hear, is be prepared in any way you can, because it will happen suddenly and you won't be ready for it. You'll be either just watching TV and all of a sudden everything goes black and electric goes out, right? Yeah, but it doesn't come back on for days. And you don't know what's going on because your phone is out also. You know, just have some things at home is what I'm saying to you, and be aware of the security threat that is coming to us,
for which we are underprepared.
The commission found the U.S. defense sector lacking in almost every area, including integrated weapons technology, platforms, and software. With recruitment levels for all branches lagging, America needs a larger fighting force. And the hearing discussed lowering physical standards for recruits and even instituting a draft.
We found that the joint force is at the breaking point of maintaining readiness today. Adding more burden without adding resources to rebuild readiness will cause it to
I
break.
told you in a video, a few videos back, that several weeks ago, that we were with our family, with our kids in Hilton Head, and we just enjoyed a nice family vacation with them. And we were getting ready to leave the next day to come home. So my husband went to the gas station to get gas just to fill up the car. So we'd be ready to go the next morning. But he went to 3 gas stations before he could get gas, because that's the day that IT glitch CrowdStrike happened, and people were stranded in airports and banks and hospitals and grocery stores. They all were having issues. Well, gas stations, that's where it affected us, because my husband went to 3 before pumps actually worked. And so I asked him, I said, did you have to pay cash whenever he got back? We didn't know what would happen and had happened until we looked to see what in the world was going on. And I said, did you have to use cash? And he said, no, the pumps weren't working. Didn't matter if you were paying in cash or credit. The pumps were not working. You couldn't get gas. The one station did work for whatever reason. They maybe were on a different IT server than CrowdStrike. I don't know about all of that techie stuff, but he was able to get gas, and we were made aware of, but that only lasted for 12 hours, you guys. So I was traveling just this past week. This was a planned trip, got home from vacation and left with a group of girls to go visit another friend of ours out of state. Well, we had a great time together. We had a wonderful, wonderful weather, wonderful time, and got back to the airport. And each of us, we were getting our luggage out of the car to go into the airport right whenever we looked at our phones. We had all gotten a message that our flight was delayed. Okay, flights get delayed sometimes. It is what it is. Except it was not that. It got delayed like 7 or 8 times. I'd have to look at my phone and count all of the delays. It was multiple delays. All day long, it kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. 9 hours later, we finally got out after sitting there with all of those delays. And at that, we were thrilled that we even got out, because so many people got canceled and they couldn't get out. People were just sleeping in the airport. So what happened is I took a walk at one point, because we were there for quite some time. And I knew what the Southwest board was saying, because we were flying Southwest. So I saw that one, but I wanted to see what was happening on the other airlines for their arrival and departure board. So I got out of that concourse and went to where I could see a large board of what was going on. And every airline was having delays and cancellations. So I knew it was across the board and not just our airline. Now, we were getting some weather, so I understand that. And I guess there were some storms up above us, so we were waiting for flights, but there really were like no flights going in and out. We were in Baltimore at that time trying to get home. But the thing is, I had listened to this video that I just shared with you, which I have another part to share with you. I want you to hear a little excerpt of the rest of this. But I had just heard that video the day before. And so whenever I went and I looked at the big board with all the different airlines on it and saw what was happening, and everything was in red because of the delays and the cancellations, I got a moment of fear. To be honest, I literally went, oh, like this could be real. And if it was, what would I do? Now, I did know that this wasn't a real cyber attack or anything, because there were flights going out in different parts of the United States. So I knew it wasn't like a national or global thing. But still, I had this moment of, they just said on that video that we are unprepared and that it could happen suddenly. So, Russia or China or Korea, or like she said, not even a nation state, but some rogue group could actually put a cyber attack on America and cripple us.
China's hackers are positioning on American infrastructure in preparation to wreak havoc and cause real-world harm to American citizens and communities if and when China decides the time has come to strike.
So what would I do? If I was in an airport, how would I get hundreds and hundreds of miles from home? You can't just walk. How would you get home? You just get a car. Could you get gas on the way? your phone doesn't work. I couldn't call my husband. Do you have some things in your home? Do you feel like you've got something that you could last for 3 days or 3 weeks? Would you be okay? And if not, you got to heed these warnings. Whenever they're saying Americans are clueless, it's because they're right. That most people do not know that we could be attacked at any point. This is the greatest threat since World War II, and that is pretty huge. It is the greatest effect to our security. These warnings are important. We just can't act like they're not happening or nothing is going to happen to us, because it can. It could happen to any of us, and it could happen suddenly, and we are not going to be ready. But, or maybe you are. Maybe you are going to be ready because you've been doing some things, and maybe you're not fully prepared, and who knows what could happen. So you don't know how to fully prepare, but you have a few things that if you needed to have some water and food and something for security to be able to protect yourself or your family, then you could. Have you thought of any of this? And you can do it on a budget too. Don't think that you got to be paying out hundreds and thousands. You can do this on a budget also. But my main reason I even wanted to share this with you is because this is a very, very important security warning that I do not believe that you're going to hear on mainstream media or anywhere else. And so, unless you get onto certain news sources, and that's why I wanted to share this with you, because you need to be made aware that we have a very, very serious security threat, and we are being warned right now so that whenever it happens, then you're ready. You're ready as much as you can. And listen to me when I say we are not to fear. The Bible tells us over and over we're not to fear, but we are to use wisdom. And yes, I did get a moment of fear because I thought, oh no, what if? Because actually that would be scary. So we do have some fear, but I'm also not going to fear living life. I still want to travel and do things because that's what we love to do, but I'm also going to do it with more awareness. It was kind of a little bit of a wake-up call to me when I was there of oh boy, that could happen at any time. So, all right. I just had these thoughts. I wanted to share it with you guys. Until next time, I'm out.